Hey guys, welcome back to Salty Confessions podcast. I'm Jay,
My name's Jeremy.
and we are dropping episode 2. So today we're going to be diving into relationships. We're going to do a little recap. Basically, we're going to dive into some of the issues that we see nowadays with relationships and some of the firsthand experiences that we've had. So Jeremy, tell me a little bit about your week this week. How's it been?
It's been a week for sure. Um, Obviously blessed to be living, but it's been a little tough. A couple of dumpster fires with the business, and definitely learning a lot. But we live in a beautiful place, so just being able to dive like this morning, stuff like that, just those small moments, man, really clear your head and very motivated. Yeah. What about you, brother?
It's pretty good. Yeah, we went diving this morning. We've got some artificial reefs over here in Santa Rosa Beach. They dropped some pilings off the second sandbar, which is like 300 yards offshore, and we go dive out there sometimes. And basically, it's nice and refreshing. The water's crystal clear, even when there's a little bit like murky. It's a little bit murky, but still pretty clear. It was refreshing. But yeah, this week's been pretty good. Been getting a lot done with my business, and then content wise has been going great. Tons of support on my Instagram. So yeah. Anything noticeable or notable about this week?
Um, Definitely lots of synchronicities. Lots of I've been practicing just kind of saying the statement like I trust. In
Yeah.
any moment of doubt, I'll just kind of look up to God and just say, I know you're doing something great, man. I
Mhm.
trust it, whatever it is, and that's helped a lot, man.
Yeah,
It's helped me kind of just pause and look at the good in things in the moment and whatnot. But
that's good. That's good.
anything you've done?
Yeah, this week I went to church twice. There's a little event at the Catholic Church for worship, and it was good. We host a bonfire over there at St. Rita Catholic Church, and it's just a group of guys. You should come next time. I'll invite you. We just sit out by a bonfire and talk about God, and it was good. This week has been kind of like it's been a little bit of a battle. Like obviously the thoughts, like when you get out of a long term relationship, the thoughts are still always going to be there, and it's kind of hard to get rid of that. So that's what we're gonna kind of dive into. We're gonna dive into a lot of the problems that we've experienced and why dating is struggling this generation, especially. So the first topic we're gonna talk about is the rise of narcissism. Give me a couple examples of where you've experienced this.
I mean, all the way back since a kid, honestly. I'm trying not to say too much because I know those people are
Yeah,
healing and whatnot. Um,
don't drop
and
names.
yeah, not drawing names or anything. But definitely as a young kid, and then especially that kind of set out, my pattern of thinking that was normal. So I would find that in partners growing up, and I would kind of seek that sort of personality where it was all performance based. Looking back on it, I wasn't loved unless I was performing and I wasn't questioning and I wasn't, inciting any bit of accountability on their part. Um, and it really breaks down your character, man. It's a lot of people are suffering from it, women as well, especially. It's equal ways, despite how we want to look at it. But a lot of people are seemingly just kind of leaning on, like I said last episode, their will over God's, and um, there's just always options. I feel like there's never a sense of commitment or like I'll grow with you or I see your imperfections, and
Yeah.
I think that's where love is born, is the imperfection part, breaking down your egos and seeing a raw human being and then choosing to insert God in between and then help grow, together and to get to heaven. That's the whole purpose of a relationship for me, is, to help each other get to heaven. So I think that whole dynamic is just kind of eroded. Social media, 100%. We all know it has been, the key culprit for it, and we'll dive more into it. But what's your kind of perspective?
Yeah, narcissism. I want to say it's definitely due to a lot of the social media. We've just seen a complete shift in like the feminist movement too. Like I follow this influencer. Her name's Savannah Faith Stone, and she talks a lot about this. That a lot of the feminist movement started out as like, all right, women's rights and changing of the roles, and women being independent and getting the jobs that they want, finding the careers, and then it turned into something else where women completely did not want anything to do with men. Like this divergence in the family, like we're losing that nuclear family or family morals and values. Um, so I've noticed that there's a lot of like this is kind of leads into our next topic, like hyper independence. People nowadays don't want to lean on each other for support. They just kind of want to have everything by themselves, but have the perks of being in a relationship. And so we're losing those traditional family values where the man provides, the woman takes care of the kids, and it's a partnership. And we're losing that because a lot of men just want to be stagnant, and they don't want to work, and they don't want to provide, and they want to split the bill, and they want to like they don't want to be the sole provider while she takes care of the kids. um and then for narcissism, it's like people can't call anyone, like you can't call anyone out nowadays. Like you cannot call anyone out and call them out on their bullshit. It's like you see that they're doing something wrong, something's hurting the relationship, and you tell them like, I don't feel comfortable with this, this is not right. They just full on lash out on you. And the social media, it's like you're gonna let a follower, or you're gonna let this like a certain person destroy what could be a lifelong covenant
Yeah.
or a lifelong relationship. It's like the inability to be corrected, the inability to be called out. But oh, I want a strong man, but if he calls you out on your shit, it's like all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, and I think it's huge play a part to how we've been socialized, especially with the rise of technology and whatnot, social media, and how we're being programmed every day. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's really collapsing the roles of what a man
Mm-hmm.
is and a woman is. And before anyone watching is like, oh, this whole episode is gonna be two dudes shitting on women.
No,
Absolutely not.
it's
Women,
both.
they're women. Y'all are literally
Men.
portals that walk around of life. You bring life into this world. It's sacred. Not only that, you have our rib for a reason. It's that extra bit of protection. And I've been told before, that extra rib is actually the intuition from God that they have to act as more emotional beings to protect us, because we're
Yeah.
just kind of grab something and beat it a wall until it works, and a
Fix
woman,
things. Man
yeah,
fix thing. Man feel better.
yeah, exactly. And whereas a woman has more of a kind, empathetic, and emotional way of going about things that will tender the heart of a man and create a gentle man. So it's very necessary for us guys. It's important to be that man,
Yeah.
to say no when it's not right, despite whatever society is throwing in their faces at school, especially in our own lives behind closed doors, how we conduct ourselves, especially when our significant other is not around. All those things playing a part, how a woman submits, and it takes two to tango. um, but this whole pointing back and forth, like you're hurt, I'm hurt, you're hurt, you know it's never gonna work. And especially with, I'll say it, women these days, like every girl I've dated, bro, and you can say the same, there's like a fantasy football like roster in their DMs just waiting for requests to be accepted. And
Mm.
there's never that concept of like, I might actually lose you and never see you again. It's like, what do you have to offer? If this depletes, I'm gonna stack you up to what is.
There's always a backup.
Yeah,
There's always a backup.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, I think you and I kind of hit such a low point because despite seeing those things, we look past it and we choose to love more. And
Mm.
then that creates kind of the broken, vulnerable man that everyone's like, oh, look at that, But it's because we're trying to play our role as men that God
Mm.
told us. Jezebel is real, man.
There's this one Instagram reel that I saw um, online. So it was like this guy. All right, it was this girl who was listing off her standards on what she wants in a man, and this mathematician guy, statistics dude, goes through and literally takes the percentage of how many men are in her city that have that trait, that exact trait. And it was like 12 guys out of a whole city could match her standards. 12 guys. And so there's these unrealistic standards that people have, and people aren't willing to work with flaws. It's the 80-20 rule. All right. You have the 80% in a relationship, but social media creates these unrealistic standards. And next thing you know, you see that 20% going by, like pass by. You leave the 80% and you go chase that shiny object. And then guess what? You realize, oh my gosh, this person's only got the 20%, but doesn't have the 80%. Right. And it's crazy because there's a lack of commitment nowadays because of it. You see something on Instagram, this unrealistic just model, and you're like, oh, I want that. And you kind of overlook what you already have. And you got all these distractions like OnlyFans, porn, and just this like industrialized sex industry. And it's just completely destroying relationships. It's crazy.
Of course. And it's also kind of fueling that narcissism for women where it's like, well, I don't need a man because if things really get so bad, I know I'll be able to profit off of it.
Yeah, you can just go grab the rich guy.
Yeah.
You know? What's that app that's all rich dudes or something like that?
Yeah. There's an app actually.
Yeah, there's a dating app. There's a dating app. It's only rich people.
Holy hell, that's crazy.
And then it's like you also have parents didn't have to deal with like dating apps or micro cheating or people like swiping up in your DMs and all these. I mean, all right, back in the day it was like, oh, Billy Bob hit on me. Like I saw Billy Bob out there and he called me pretty and was such a darling. And but nowadays it's like, oh, you got like 10 guys in the DMs, or she's following like 200 freaking models or 200 dudes that from middle school. And you know, as soon as you break up, she already got an option or he's already got an option. You know what I mean? It's like, it's so easy to cheat nowadays. It's so easy. Texting somebody, that's cheating. You're texting somebody. You've got the intention, cheating.
It's easily accessible to anybody, man. I mean, Mike Tyson said it best. Like someone asked him about a phone. He's like, I don't typically have one. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, it's my lower self.
Yeah, it literally is.
Yeah, everything you want behind closed doors, you have access to on that thing. And it's
your deepest, darkest secrets are on that phone. 100%. It's like, you want to know who somebody really is? You look in that phone.
Yep. We both tried. That didn't work out.
No, you can have a fully committed relationship. You can have a fully committed relationship and have a sexual relationship with somebody, but that phone's off limits. Yeah. It's nuts.
It's crazy, man. And kind of back to what you said with like the older generations, if you were going to break up, like you had to genuinely consider, I may never see this person ever again.
Yeah, literally.
Literally. There was a whole different level of commitment. Now, even if you don't want to see that person again, you can like still check in on them and stuff like that.
They still exist.
Yeah, exactly. Then it's just like, you don't know.
So yeah, they're gone. They don't exist anymore. It's a figment of your imagination.
Yeah. And not only that, like everyone is trying to look for the perfect 100%, like you said.
Yeah.
Well, we're not 100% for a reason, because that deficit is where God is inserted.
Jesus is the perfect person. We are not perfect. We are sinful in every single shape and form.
Exactly. And most of all, you can't find love. You can only become it. And by becoming it, you'll attract what he intends for you. But if you're trying to, go out about and chase it and throw out all these lines and stuff, it's not going to work. It's something passionate and something lustful might come along earlier that might feel good, but it's gonna wreck you.
You build the soul ties, and then you're done. What happened to the commitment? Like, you got our grandparents, thick and thin, 60 years of being together, and like our brains are so dopamine fried. It's like you can't even watch a 2-minute video without like getting overstimulated. Or it's like you can't go through struggles anymore without boom, it's done. What happened to like It's a terrible joke. I'll trade my cattle for your daughter, and you'll get married and live together for the rest of your life, like back in the ancient times.
I mean, honestly though, you make a point. Like it, there was something to be said about
Divorce
it.
didn't exist.
Well, yeah, and it was honestly like, here's your opportunity for love. You know, you've been under the household that has loved you. Trust it. Honor your mother and father. This is your one experience with it.
Yeah.
So, find God around it. Try to improve that person, or invoke change. I say, don't try to change people, but invoke someone to grow.
Yeah.
There was no other option. It was you, Jesus, and that person. And now
Commitment.
it's like, well, I got a plethora of options. Let me
Yeah.
just check it out. And honestly, the dopamine will hit faster than the faith will. So let's just roll with it.
Death by too many options.
100%.
It's like when you are looking for the next best thing, you're overlooking what you already have or what's already good. It may not be perfect. Nothing's perfect. You leave a person for another person, you're going to find that person has just different problems. And now you got to restart from the beginning.
Yep.
And there's no excuse for abuse. Like, I'm not saying like if you're in a relationship that's abusive in any way, shape, or form, you stay in that relationship just to be committed. I'm saying like if you have something that has struggles and it may be like difficult, why would you throw that away when you have somebody that truly loves you? Just work through the problems. And
Exactly.
people can't do that nowadays. And divorce is just giving the person the option to divorce. It's like you're already looking for a way out. Like, if I ever get married, the word divorce will never, ever, ever be mentioned in my household because I've already seen what divorce does to people.
Nothing good, bro.
And I've seen broken marriages because of divorce.
Especially, it's really no surprise, like looking around now, because we're a product of that 50% divorce rate.
Yeah.
This generation is, and you see it. Like, we are a complete clusterfuck. Like,
yeah.
And
literally,
it's everybody, and there's a lot to be loved with it. I mean, if people just so much as just kind of look at the situation of how we've been socialized, what adaptations we've had to make with society, and the explosion of technology and access to temptation whenever you want, man, it's really blurred the lines between what is love, and it's created a lot of fear, and
yeah, it's completely fear driven.
tons of fear, man. And
I gotta go to a dang village in the middle of the Philippines. No technology.
Yeah, exactly. Something crazy that I saw the other day was this nature photographer was out in Africa, and he was like hanging out with the tribe and whatnot, and he was telling all the people, he's like, you guys are beautiful people. He's like, if you go back to the United States, you guys will all be models.
Hate it.
100%.
Yeah.
And they all looked at him like he was crazy. He's like, what? And they're like, isn't that the place where people kill themselves?
Yeah.
Like, he was like, what do you
mean?
They
would hate
like,
it.
They're like, yeah, like, do people actually take their lives there? Like, suicide was something non-existent. I personally think like mental illness is brewed from domestication. Those people, the men wake up, they go out, they hunt. The women are holding down the village, doing their thing as well. Come back, everyone celebrates, everyone eats, everyone prays, everyone dances, goes to sleep. It's rewarding. They're upkeeping what God gave us, which is the earth. And all we've done is industrialize, kill it, and then turn against each other like parasites. Like,
it's crazy. It is crazy.
Yeah.
There's some of the happiest people in the world over there.
Yeah.
What's the country with like the oldest people in the world, because they're the happiest country in the world?
Yeah, I could see it, dude.
It's crazy.
Or what was it? There was a quote like, not wanting the most but needing the least. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. Living simplistic.
Yeah.
That's a big thing that's taught in the Bible, is not attaching yourself to worldly desires and being so attached to them that you're missing out on the bigger picture.
Absolutely.
Which is eternal life in heaven.
Yeah, and I think women have lost a lot of faith with men too, because we've fallen victim. A lot of men have fallen victim to lust. You'll be on your phone. I'll be like scrolling, looking at like, climbing videos, diving videos, and all of a sudden it's like OnlyFans girls for 15 minutes. Like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
It's always being inserted in our lives. And, Machiavelli even says, the lowest of slaves is one to lust.
Yeah.
So why do you think the devil's pushing that stuff so hard? I mean, I love boxing. There's OnlyFans, like advertisements in the middle of the ring now. Why is that put in front of our face? You
Lust
know?
is just literally the killer of kings. It literally destroys the man, and so many men are falling victim to it, and they're becoming weak. They're becoming weak in the mind.
Yeah.
Like you've got the sex industry. You've got OnlyFans just being pushed on these men, and they're falling victim to it every time, every time, and it creates this weakness in the mind. They can't provide. They don't have a purpose. They lack discipline. They lack self control, and the internet is just literally causing this, and it's causing birth rates to go down.
Yeah.
It's causing all these problems. It's literally destroying mankind.
100%.
Men don't want to have kids. They don't want to get married. They
Yeah.
don't want to have a girlfriend because, all right, women all go out and cheat. So you've got a weak man and then a woman who doesn't want a man because they want to be completely independent and they want the richest of the rich.
Yeah.
So the normal average guy is just hopeless. They're hopeless. They lack routines. They lack discipline. They lack self control.
Yeah. And you look at the reproduction rate, man. It's just like
Yep.
it's just going straight down.
Oh, divorce rates aren't that low or aren't that high, 38%. Well, then look at how many people are actually getting married.
Yeah.
Like I got into this argument online with this guy named Dr. Max Butterfield or something. Dude, and his it's crazy. His modern psychology too is pushing this like demonic information. Like, oh, yeah, the number of partners that you sleep with won't affect whether or not you have a good relationship or not, or and that it's okay to sleep with multiple partners. This is modern psychology, he's saying that it's okay to go sleep with multiple partners. No shame at all. And it's like, all right, well, whenever you put a key in the lock, over time that lock wears out.
Yeah.
It's like you're losing your value. You really are. And his claim was that, oh, you can sleep with as many partners as you want and it won't affect whether or not you get into a healthy relationship. False.
Yeah.
Completely false. That is not what was intended for us. And so you've got that norm now just being pushed that it's okay to go sleep with multiple partners. It's okay to lust after people. And it's just literally destroying our society.
Yeah.
Divorce rates are up. Marriage rates are completely down. Nobody's getting married. Nobody wants to have kids. Nobody wants to have a healthy household or family anymore.
Exactly. On top of that, you have gender confusion now within the youth. So you're robbing their innocence.
That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, man. And I don't know if like you've read this too, but like a lot of empires towards the very end, one of the last side effects was gender confusion.
Really?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Rome,
Greece, all of them.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, big time.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and kind of looking at it, man, it's like the last like little leg of a society crumbling, and I know we'll get back.
Fall of America.
This is what the world's turning into. Who are we to take it into our hands to shape what creation is? Honestly, it's worked out really good until every time we try to mess with it.
Yeah.
And it's rough, man. It's really messing up innocence. You mess with innocence, you mess with the mind. The mind's gonna grow up in some weird ways, and then here you have traumatic people, trauma bonding, and so on and so forth.
People are losing morals. They're losing values. They're just throwing themselves away, and they're just using themselves as objects. Women are like, oh, it's the man's fault for viewing us, objectifying us, and viewing us as objects. Okay. Men are falling victim to lust, but the women are making it easier for us to fall victim to lust. So the men have to work on lust. The women have to stop putting out the content that they're putting out. Stop wearing there's no modesty anymore. Men and women are contributing to the downfall of both sides, and it's just this constant clash, this war between us.
100%, man. I agree. And the biggest thing is just for people to like recognize that both sides. Men have their own war, women have their own war. Recognizing that it's a war, and to recognize that it just takes breaking down your ego. And all I'm seeing, and like I'm sure you're seeing it too, is just like people won't learn the lesson, and they'll
No.
go back out within
Yeah.
days. Like they'll be in bed with another man within days. Like,
Mm-hmm.
don't look at
Yeah.
themselves. It's like, no, I'm gonna stay in my comfort zone. I'm gonna have somebody support my bad behavior, and I'm not gonna grow.
Yeah.
And there's a plethora of options that they can
Mm-hmm.
just jump to and not look at themselves. And
Yeah.
meanwhile,
Literally.
us guys, obviously there's dudes that be
There's
like, no, I'm
dudes
gonna
that
go
go
out,
out and
and
do
I
that
get
crap.
that.
Yeah.
But people like you and me, man, we're just thugging it out in the dark, like
Yeah.
spearfishing or like diving like past a PR just because I'm fucked up in the head from it, like like, and we have to internalize all of that
Mm-hmm.
pain and twist it and turn that grief, which is still ungiven love, into
Mm-hmm.
self-love, then grow and then find the strength to put ourselves back out there, which seemingly seems to a world of
Yeah.
people that still haven't learned the lesson. They're just jumping from person to person, situation to situation, bar to bar, you name it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I talked about this in another podcast. It is so much harder to sit yourself down, to turn your life to God, to pray, to meditate, to go to the gym, to journal, to just be alone, no drinking, no smoking, no substances. And no hooking up with people. It's harder to do that than it is to just go out and just let yourself go and not learn your lesson. So, because you're sitting with the pain, you're feeling every single bit of emotion, you're sitting in your thoughts, you're thinking about that person that you were once with, and it's just eating away at your mind. But that's strengthening you. And people nowadays don't do that. They go to a bar, they drink their sorrows away, they'll go hook up with a random person, and they'll just get into another rebound relationship with the same crap that they brought from the last relationship, but this time they're hooked onto that person and they're bringing it into the next relationship.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, all right, I had this experience before. They were like, oh, this song reminds me of my ex. Like, this song reminds me of my ex. Oh, this situation here reminds me of my abusive, toxic ex. I mean, I can't say I haven't done that too, because I was in a rebound relationship as well. Big mistake. Big mistake. And people are unable to sit with their emotions and learn their lessons and do it the righteous way. You've got people that are hooked on substances, they're addicted to porn. You got men that are just like out of control, like getting wasted. This isn't just Attack Woman podcast. This is
No.
Men are a bunch of pussies right now.
Yeah, 100%.
Bunch of pussies.
Oh,
let's go to the bar again. I'm gonna take home this chick that I've been talking to for like the past few days, and we're just gonna sleep with each other.
I'm gonna be the first to say, before like we go like any further, this isn't us talking down. I've had a battle with addiction. I've had a battle with lust. I've had a battle with all of that.
Everybody.
That's hurting you as much as you think like a girl sleeping with a bunch of guys is. Like, it's the same thing.
It goes both ways.
That energy, that especially that sexual energy, is sacred.
Mm-hmm.
It's meant to create life, and you're just bumming it out for dopamine. And if you want to get out of it, you just have to view it almost like the gym, where you're gonna have to work out your brain to get strong enough to these behavioral patterns, and then it becomes autonomous after, for me, about like 2-3 weeks. But you have to literally just thug it out until then. And life doesn't become easier, but it does become way more manageable. Like, you'll have a big problem, for me, will come up, and first thing I would think is like, man, I gotta go get a drink, or like whatever, go hang out with a girl or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's those impulsive, like, plugging the holes in the ship when you're leaning on substances, because you're holding on to things to soothe your emotions, where when you don't have that option, you have to look at it and you have to offer it up, and you rely on God a lot more. And that's how things become more manageable, is because a problem will come up and you have no choice but to deal with it. You can't put it off. And alcohol and all those other temptations, they're just buffers, but that monster is just going to get bigger, and it's going to stand in the corner of your room, until you look at it. So,
and this goes both ways. You want a high value woman, a God fearing woman with a low body count, you best be sure that you're one of those men. You can't be going and sleeping with a bunch of people and expect to find a healthy, loving wife. Same with women. You want a good man? Stop going and sleeping with random people. You shouldn't have been doing that in the first place, because God already knows what you've been up to, and He's going to put this person that's got the exact same qualities as you.
Yeah.
So as a man, if you it goes both ways. There's no like, oh, if a woman sleeps with a bunch of men, it's worse than a man sleeping with a bunch of women. No, it's the same. A man who goes and sleeps with a bunch of women, you're just destroying your chances of finding a healthy relationship, because I mean, all right, Jesus will forgive you for all of your sins, but it does not mean that you're not going to attract someone who's got that exact same past. Like, you attract exactly who you are, and you're just going to have to make sure you work through those struggles, because you're going to attract those exact same struggles.
Absolutely.
And so for the younger guys that may be watching this, don't do it. Just don't do it. Just focus on yourself. Work out. Build a business young. Just hang out with friends. Don't drink. Don't go hooking up with a bunch of people. Develop yourself. That's the best thing you can do, because you will attract someone high value down the road if you put in the work yourself.
Yeah, and honestly, the longer you put in that war, the better she's gonna get in the future.
Yeah.
And most of all, the more you'd be able to provide anyone in the future.
We both got our hearts, like, we're going through some of the hardest, like, heartbreak we've ever gone through in our lives. Like, I got dumped by a 2-year relationship who I thought I was going to marry. Same situation with him. But instead of choosing to go throw my life away, I'm going to sit. I don't care how much it hurts. It's going to hurt. I'm not even going on dates. I don't care. I'm going to become the best version of myself, and I'm turning my life to Christ only, because I know that if I ask and I have faith, then I know I will receive a person who values me more than the last person. Because when someone leaves, it really shows more about how they loved. But the way a person leaves shows exactly how they loved. And if it was true love doesn't leave. It always stays, no matter what. And that's what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
You don't leave in the darkest times. You know what I mean? You stay. You stay.
Yeah.
Love isn't a Disney princess, baby.
We were watching this video right before this, and they were talking about, in Jesus' darkest hour, it was the women that were around him while the disciples were hiding. Ladies, what happened?
Yeah. And now men nowadays are the disciples that are hiding.
Yeah, and I get it. A lot of guys will put on a performance for 3 to 4 months, and then you see the real colors. But if a man has proven himself and then hits a pit, a woman's job is to inspire, not suppress.
Mm-hmm.
And likewise, a partner, I should say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's y'all's job. You guys breathe life into men when we're beat to shit, and it's a beautiful thing. And I don't know, and it just seems like a lot of critique and, oh, men aren't this, and toxic masculinity. That's the beautiful word these days.
Yeah.
Which I get it. We're talking about like the whole, like, oh bro, let's go to the bar. Like, that is toxic as hell.
Mm-hmm.
That is little boy narcissistic energy, and you're just using women's sexual energy like it's a drug, basically, to upkeep your ego, and that's not cool.
No.
But love takes sacrifice, man.
It does. It's not easy.
No, and a lot of people love passion these days. They don't love love, man.
They love the feeling of those little cute moments. They love that little, like, high that they get in the beginning, the first 6 months. But when shit gets real and you're in a committed relationship and things just aren't the same as it was when you first started dating, that's when people dip.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, you lack commitment and you think it's easy. It's not easy. Love is not easy. I talked to my grandparents. You talk to your grandparents. How many times have they wanted to walk away and be like, I'm done with this, but they didn't, because it's called real discipline and love.
Yeah, exactly.
You talk to any couple nowadays that are still together, older people, that's what they'll say. It's not easy.
Yeah.
There's all this video, it's like, of this old couple. They're like blown up on YouTube, and it's like they're just giving each other shit. They look like they act like dudes, like making fun of each other and stuff. It's love isn't cute. It's not cute. There's no such thing.
It's brutal. really
Jesus,
is.
Jesus loves you even though you're a sinner.
Yeah,
He forgives you for everything.
exactly. And I think love is genuinely sacrificing everything you know for a higher purpose.
Mm.
You
You
know,
have to love as Jesus loves the church.
yeah, he didn't even get it when he died, man. He said, "Forgive them; they know not what they do."
Yeah.
People were mocking him as he was taking his last breath. That's the last thing he saw
Oh
was,
Lord, why have you forsaken me?
yeah, stripped naked, completely just disheveled and beaten beyond our comprehension. I don't know if people have looked into like how bad it
It was
was, but
awful.
he hardly had skin on his body.
Yeah,
Like,
his guts were hanging out.
yeah, and people are mocking him, and he didn't understand, but he did understand, and he was
This had to
fully
happen.
faithful in the fact that God was going to change the world
Hmm.
through an act of love that was ugly.
Yeah.
And it takes a level of sacrifice. I mean, the faith was born literally off of Abraham almost sacrificing his son,
Hmm.
literally,
Yeah.
to get that point across. And we don't want to look back at that.
Yeah.
Sure, it sounds crazy, it sounds barbaric, but when you look at it in the sense of adversity, it sounds very logical.
Yeah. And that's the type, like, as much you have to have full faith in God, and you have to have a partner that helps you strengthen that faith. The men have to love the wives, and the wives have to respect the husband, and they have to have as much commitment as Jesus did to the Father, like knowing that, all right, this is not going to be easy. I have to give up myself to make sure that the plan goes accordingly.
Yeah,
It's like you got to have that commitment
yeah.
and discipline. That's what love is. He did it out of love for us, even though we are a bunch of shithead sinners.
Biggest thing that we want people to take away from this is not to like fuel the fire of like,
Division.
oh, this gender's doing that, this gender's doing that, but more to recognize how to be equally yoked in a
Hmm.
relationship.
That's what the devil wants. He wants division.
Exactly. Spot on, man.
Yeah, there's this battle between, like, pointing the finger between men and women, and that's literally the enemy. He's winning. This generation is completely consumed by cheap highs and dopamine hits from social media, and then people thinking that they know better than God, and they can completely flip the scripts of what a biological relationship's supposed to be, or gender roles. But on top of that, light always beats the darkness. Light always clears darkness. And if you are turning your life to Christ, you're developing yourself. You're sitting yourself down. If you're going through a season of pain and heartbreak, and you're sitting yourself down and you're choosing the path of Jesus' love and becoming the best version of yourself, you are destined to find a person that will love you. It may take a long time. As long as you are moving and you are having a faith of a mustard seed, God will provide. And there are good women out there. I've met them. I've talked to them, like through my social media account. My social media is all about heartbreak and knowing your value and picking yourself up. And there are good women out there. There are good men out there who are choosing morals and values and choosing a righteous path of healing, healthy healing, and Christ. And there are good people out there. This world isn't completely hopeless, and that's what everybody's falling into, is that they're pointing the fingers at each other and saying there are no good men left and there are no good women left, and that's bullshit. It's not true.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think the main objective of the devil was to ruin the nuclear family,
Yep,
and
it
he's
is.
succeeding.
He's
And
succeeding.
since our introductory episode, we did talk about the main theme in all of this is going to be spiritual warfare.
It is.
And the biggest way that we could win that is by loving our brothers and our sisters and
Mhm.
understanding their role and helping them understand, taking an accountability, especially when we're not playing our biblical role, and coming to an understanding. But this whole back and forth, and you said this, you did that, it's never going to work. And forgiveness is one of the prime like
Yes.
mechanisms of love. And you
Yes.
can't love someone if you don't trust someone. You can't trust someone if you don't forgive them.
Hmm.
So looking into,
there's a lack of forgiveness.
yeah, absolutely. And most of all, recognizing that we're in a generation of 50% failure rates of witnessing and growing up of what love was like. And we're trying to build households now with broken pieces, and it's up to us to
broken
find,
foundation.
yeah, and it's okay as long as you find the best pieces of each one of your foundations and build it together under God. And God is what will keep that foundation together. If you constantly keep trying to weigh up to, oh, he's not my standards, or oh, he's not this, what are you looking for? Perfection and no growth. There's no room for God if you have a perfect
Better be looking
partner.
for Jesus, because
Yeah.
that's the only perfect man there is.
Exactly. And I've told the last 3 of my exes the same thing. I said, don't find another man, find God. Didn't work.
That's fair.
They did what they wanted to.
I had to find God from my last relationship.
Yeah, but they just fall in love with God before you try to fall in love with someone. Because here's the thing, love isn't some thing that we grab that's just like this coffee cup and it's like, okay, I have love now. You become it, you emulate it, and then life comes from you. And if you're trying to yank and grab in people, it's not going to work. Your soul serves as a magnet, it attracts what it emulates. So if you're trying to grab things, nothing's going to stick because there's no magnetic energy there. You're not creating a level of frequency that's bringing what you want in your life, and you're just faking it. So,
and you give your life to Christ and you have full faith, he will make it very, very clear. He'll make it so obvious. All right, and so we're gonna wrap this up. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you guys for supporting us. And our next episode is going to be about signs from God. He and I, we both had some very crazy experiences where God has actually answered prayers and come to us through nature. So that's what we're going to talk about in the next episode. We're going to talk about signs of God through nature, and where we've witnessed prayers answered and seen him make himself known. So thanks again for watching, and we appreciate you tuning in. Stay tuned.
stay tuned. Have a blessed week. Pleasure doing this,